I'm Grady.
I'm Zach.
And welcome to Highlights, a show where we recap a reality competition show, usually a drag one, like it's sports, even though it's not. In this season, we're covering All-Star 7 in all of its legendary glory. I'm very excited about it. We are down one person. Charisse is missing the premiere, and that's actually a production issue. We had to move our recording date, so it did not work with Charisse's schedule. But she's very missed, and she will be here somewhere. But much like Carson Kressley and Ross Matthews, sometimes she misses an episode here and there. So it'll be just us gays breaking down the first two, because we got a 2-for-1 special, as they tend to do now with All Stars on Paramount Plus. 2 episodes in 1 week, so we have a lot to cover. So let's break it down. Last week's episodes, plural, was Legends and also Snatch Game, and we'll go through each one as briefly as we can, so we can cover everything. But of course, it's a new season, so we get new queens walking into the workroom. And so, real quick, let's break down these legends. First, we have Jinx Monsoon. She is the winner of season 5 of RuPaul's Drag Race. We also have Monet Exchange, who's competed more than once, but she is one of the 2 winners of All Stars 4. We also have Shea Coulee, winner of All Stars 5. Trinity the Tuck, co-winner of All Stars 4. Raja, winner of season 3 of RuPaul's Drag Race. Evie Oddly, winner of season 11 of RuPaul's Drag Race. Jada Essence Hall, winner of season 12. And of course, the Vivienne, who's the only international queen, which is weird. I guess they wanted to give her an opportunity to compete for some actual money, but she's the winner of UK season 1. So we get some brand new entrance looks, and we're not going to go through all of them because of, tiempo. But any standouts for you? Any faves?
Raja's was really cool and unique. I really liked Raja's.
And very referential.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. That one really stood out for me. I thought it was really. I'm really excited to see all that Raja brings to the competition, only because it's been so long since she actually competed, but I was really impressed with what she showed up with.
Yeah.
It was a whole performance, which I was really excited about.
Yeah, Raja's is probably my favorite, and she made it, which is crazy. You just don't see that anymore on Drag Race very often, and
I wish we saw more of that.
Absolutely, and I think she does too. She definitely comes from the era where that was the norm, and that's what was expected and asked of you. So to construct something that was a reference to how she entered the first time, and she said it's out of a lot of recycled, so it's like stuff out of her laying around her house and recycled stuff from things she's worn in the past, which I also thought was really cool. And I gotta say, I really like Shay's for some reason. It's pretty simple, but it just looks so good on her. Like, she just looks so great, and she was the first one to walk in, and I just absolutely loved it.
It looked good. It didn't stand out for me personally, it didn't stand out amongst the others. I did like what Jinx said, if she got the tip to match the tables in the room, because the oranges were almost a perfect match. She did look really good though. She always tends to look very good and on point in whatever she wears.
So after everybody gets in and situated, a bonus person walks in, and it's Raven, who they jokingly, I don't know, try to make us believe she's going to compete. This was a waste of time. I was happy to see her.
I almost got really excited because I thought she was actually going to compete. I was like, oh, this is going to be sick. But,
yeah.
No.
I would love to see her compete, but I'm like, it's a winter season. Get the fuck out. Plus, I don't think she'll ever compete again, because if she's competing, who's going to do Rue's makeup? And she's not going to let
she'd have her right there.
She's like, Raven, come here. Step forward.
I need to see you for a moment.
Oh, gosh. But we jump right into a mini challenge as well, and it's the reading challenge, which is a Drag Race staple, and I was pretty excited to get right to it. Any faves here?
Of course, Jinx is hilarious.
Yeah, Jinx is fun.
Hers was the one that really, really stood out for me. I thought Raja was funny in that it was very simple, to the point, and over.
Yeah, Raja didn't want to do it. You could tell.
I could tell. I feel like she's maybe afraid of coming off too snobby. So
Yeah.
I feel like that was really smart, just to blanket insult and then walk out.
Yeah.
But Jinx obviously was a clear standout, and it was hilarious.
Absolutely. Which you called Raja Roger. Loved it.
Yes.
And that will now always follow Raja wherever she goes. Hilarious. But yes, Jinx wins the reading challenge and already gets $2,500 on the bank right out the gate. So then they're told that their very first challenge, first of all, nobody's going home this season. They have to compete like it's Mario Party for Legendary Legend Stars, which is hilariously redundant as a title. And it's legitimately like Mario Party. It's like they're all playing mini games every week, and then they block each other from earning stars. It's so weird. I can't believe it's happening.
I love this way of competing, though, because then you really get to see the different dynamics of the competitors, and I feel like it's less about sending someone home and more about just being your best.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. It breeds a much better competitive atmosphere, I think.
They also get a little mini lesson in walking, in runway walking, from Naomi Campbell, who's really only there so they can say Naomi Campbell is there in the promos. She doesn't stay as a guest judge at all. I don't know why. She was like, "You're not going to pay me for that."
I think it's weird when they do that, when they have like an iconic person come in for a portion of the episode and they're not the guest judge.
Yeah.
Because they've done it a few times where it's just like, well, why weren't you just the guest judge for the episode? Did they not have enough episodes for all the judges? Or
I know, it's
I
weird.
don't understand.
Yeah, it was a cool moment, and Shay got a really nice moment with Naomi up there, and that's fun. But it didn't have anything to do with the challenge.
That was cute.
Yeah, and I don't know. I was like, okay, I guess we did that. Going to the main stage, we got a little performance from RuPaul that I want to talk about before we get into her look and the judges. Because wow, she was there.
She was present that day.
She just, at this point, she's an animatronic. Like, I don't know why.
The Imagineers have outdone themselves.
Exactly. You cannot convince me that she's just not dead somewhere, and that's an animatronic they're animating. Just what they want. That's what the name of the song was. And so it was a lot of her moving her arms. Her arms still working, people. Yes. She can
Very
move
limber.
her elbows. Yes.
And don't forget, she moved from side to side.
She did. And they only had to speed up the footage in certain points to make it look like she was nailing the corner.
And she did all of this without the use of a walker.
She did, yes.
You know?
I am sure someone helped her out there.
But props to Mama
Took
Ru.
her back.
Okay?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Man. Michelle must be like, just one wrong move. And this will be mine.
She's
Wow.
like sawing off the bottoms of her heels, so she's like unbalanced when she walks.
And I also, and just lip syncing the song, which also was whatever. Anyways, she looked really great. I liked her outfit. She looked nice, really in shape, and nice silhouette. I guess all
like
that
she was
voguing.
forced into that shape, like
Exactly.
like Play-Doh.
Molded and rolled it and all that kind of stuff. Guest judge is Cameron Diaz, who is genuinely just happy to be there while she's watching RuPaul flap her arms around the stage. Cameron Diaz, an actual Drag Race fan, and can name queens and challenges and wins and all these references. She made sure people knew she watches the show.
I love that about her.
I do love that about her. Which at first I was like, okay, we went from Naomi Campbell to Cameron Diaz, and I was like, this is a weird shift. I don't know.
A weird shift of energy, really.
Yeah. And for the singing challenge, it's Cameron Diaz, I guess. But you know, she was actually really great on there. She took it very seriously. She was happy to be there, and that's really all I'm asking for in a guest judge. And she looked good, really simple red dress, but with a pearl headband. It looked really nice. Good for her. So then we got into the legends of it all and heard everybody's verses. Who do you think was the best verse?
So now I can't tell if I already have a bias, but or if I'm just actually paying attention more to Jinx because she's been funny so far. But I really liked Jinx. I thought Jinx's was really good. I actually missed Raja's because I kept listening to the other one thinking it's like, oh, when's Raja gonna go? But she went first, and then I was like, oh, she already went. So then that just leads me to believe that maybe it wasn't as memorable as I thought it would have been. So it was just kind of subpar. But I thought Jada's was really good though.
Jada's was funny. She really leaned to it, kind of not being her thing. She showed a
ton of personality, a ton of character, and really used the space and was really entertaining. So, but for me, it was Jinx and Jada.
I have to say, for me, it was Monet and Shay.
See, I couldn't hear Shay. I couldn't understand what she was saying. Like, she was like very energetic on the stage. Like, I enjoyed the performance, but I could not understand her lyrics.
Yeah, I mean, she was doing like some weird cadences. She was doing like this Nicki Minaj thing where she was like, "Umpire!" Like, I was like, okay, calm down. But I really liked it. I was into it. And Monet, I didn't know Monet could actually vocalize. So when she was like, oh, I'm going to sing and rap, I was like, goodbye. But I lived for it. I was like, oh, I thought it was the best. Hands down. Monet was probably top for me. And then second was Shay. Jinx, I liked. It was funny. But I was like, what is happening? And then the dance she does, she was like, I'm gonna scrub all of these subs. I was like, whoa. I was like,
it's just so weird. It just makes it funnier. It's just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But I love it. I did like Monet's. Monet's was good too.
Yes. Yeah, that's enough about that. So then we get to the runway, and it's the very first category is I'm crowning. Hilarious. Then first up we had Raja. Did you like this look from Raja?
Yes, I did love this look. And I've seen it like 5 times since we watched the episode. Yes, I love this look. This look was amazing. There was so much detail in it.
Yeah,
and it was so theatrical, which I love about when runway is not all high fashion, because I love when runway is fashionable, but if there's no drama to it and theater to it, sometimes it can be a little boring for my personal taste. This had everything. It was amazing. I loved it. There are actually very few looks on this runway I didn't like. Very true.
And it was very self-referential again. So she did kind of like a French kind of old-timey look the first time around, and she incorporated some of the makeup details into this look as well, like a little heart that she had on her neck the very first season, not the very first season, but the first season she competed. She put a little heart on her neck during that look. She moved it to her cheek this time, same makeup. It was really good, very elevated,
very detailed.
Yeah, and that's what I love about Raja. It's like all the little details are there. It's completely thought out, and I love that from her. What about Jinx?
This was very Elizabethan with
Mhm.
a hint of slut, and I loved it
Yeah.
because, like, the slip.
Uh-huh.
I was living for this. It wasn't quite as theatrical as Raja's, but I was still living. Like the crown. Oh
Yeah,
my
it was
gosh,
good.
it was beautiful. Like the dress alone was gorgeous, but like with the crown on top, it was just amazing.
Yep. Loved it. What about Monet?
Monet's was cool. It was very different. She had that like I'm trying to like describe it because I'm picturing it in my head, but I can't really describe it.
The little tracksuit, and she had like these caged
Yeah.
out hips that she was
Yeah.
stoning.
Okay,
in the
yeah.
crib.
I really liked it. I had to like look at it a second time because when I initially saw it, I was like, "What is this?" And then hearing Michelle like point out the details of it, like the caged part of it, and then like getting a second look at it, I was like, that does look really cool. Like I do like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't hit you in the face quite as abruptly as the others did. So I really did have to digest it a little bit for it to really sit with me. But then I really, really did appreciate it.
Yeah, I just don't think I loved it as much as a lot of the others. But yeah, it's cool.
Hey, how's that?
Yeah. Then we had Trinity. Loved Trinity's.
She had the big train, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The purple thing.
Very dramatic. Purple
So
was a very
good.
dramatic color to begin with.
Yeah.
It was gorgeous. Looked gorgeous on her. I love this look.
Evie Oddly.
I'm trying to remember Evie.
She had the melting crayons.
Okay, so this was not this was not my favorite look, but I can appreciate the angle she was going for and like what she was trying to do. Like I thought it was incredibly creative and really artsy, but I just don't think it looks so dwarfed compared to what everyone else brought.
I wish the bottom of it had more.
Yeah.
But I love the concept of it. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, the concept like was really cool, and it really like everything looked like the melted crayons, like everything looked really, really neat. It just compared to what everyone else was doing, it just looked so small.
Absolutely. Then we had the Vivian, who went as like Queen of the Wood Nymphs or something. Like it was very natural and kind of like, I don't know if bohemian is the right word.
Hers did not stand out for me. It was probably down there with Evie's.
Yeah, they were probably the two I liked the least. I still liked it. I thought she looked really nice.
Yeah.
But, compared to the others, comparatively, me. Jada's.
I can't remember what Jada's look like.
Me neither. Why?
It must not have stood out.
It's weird. I looked her up. Oh yes, Jada had the purple flower type tulle like all over her.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And the Marge Simpson braided hair with the little tiny
and with the
crown
little
on
crown on
top.
top. Okay, this was cute.
It was okay.
I liked it. I wasn't gobsmacked about it, but it was cute.
Yeah, it was, it was whatever. I don't know if it screamed crowning. Like if you took the little crown away, I'm like, but it's okay. And then we had Shay's. Shay had the. Like,
this was. I was like waiting for you to get to Shay.
No,
this was gorgeous.
It was great.
Lived
the prosthetic gauges. I was like, whoa.
This was amazingly beautiful.
It was very Angela Bassett and Black Panther.
Yes.
Like, yeah, it was so good.
Come on, Queen of Wakanda. Like I was
It was so good. You know what I like too? So as they're on the runway, it seems like they're getting a winner's edit this season, where the reputations of everybody across the board, both in challenges and in critiques and on the runways, all across the board, are being protected from a production standpoint, which there was some debate online on whether or not that's good because it takes the reality out of it. But they also tend to skew very harshly in their edits, just to stir up good TV and drama. So for example, like they film runways twice, which means like Betty, for example, they chose the one where she fell, just you know what I mean? So I appreciate that they're just kind of appreciating instead of ripping apart for the sake of ripping apart and from a production storyline point of view.
Well, yeah, and I think people need to realize like these are people who have already won, so it doesn't do the brand any justice to tear them apart again on TV when they've already been through the really hard part of it. Not that this isn't going to be a hard competition, but this really is supposed to be like a winner's lap for them.
Okay, so because they get a winner's edit, nobody places low and nobody places nobody gets eliminated, obviously. So we don't get bottom twos, we don't get any of that. You're either safe or you're high, or you're in the top two and you're lip syncing for the legacy, which is pretty cool. I like that. So that being said, Monet, Trinity, Shay, and Evie all placed really high. Evie was a stretch for me, to be honest. They really liked how she performed, which is why she placed so high, and she did have a lot of energy. Her choreo was really great, but I probably would have put Jinx up there, just because it just sounded better. And
just sounds better. It looks better on paper.
Top two is Shay and Monet, so they both win the challenge. Will each have a challenge win under their belt already, and each receive a legendary legend star, which is really nice, and potentially get the power to block somebody. So that's what they're lip syncing for, is the cash tip and the power to block one of their sisters from earning a star the following week. The lip sync song was Old MacDonald by Ella Fitzgerald.
This was a choice.
Yeah. Whoa.
It was.
I almost got whiplash, like when it started playing. Like I was like, whoa, this is a weird turn. Like, especially the queens that are up there. I was like, and production switches the songs in them so many times. I was like, this is what they landed on. You know?
It's like production last minute. Whoa. Let's do Old MacDonald.
Yeah.
It's gonna go great, guys.
Looks like top two are Shay and Monet, so you know what they're gonna do? What?
It's gonna be a riot.
We're gonna light this premiere up. Cameron Diaz must have been like, what the hell is happening? Anyways, by the end of it though, I was like, okay. I was committed to it. I was like, we're doing it. I'm into it.
I'm here.
We're going there. That being said, Shea Coulee wins the lip sync and wins $10,000 and the power to block whoever she wants. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard lip sync to judge. It's like, yeah. I mean, like,
yeah, they both did really well.
Yeah,
I think I would have been fine with either one. Yeah. So then, with the power of the platinum plunger, I think is that what it's called?
This is the most gaggy thing I have ever seen in my life, and I am in the process of bedazzling every plunger in my house because this is
I really, between the lip sync song and this concept, I really thought I had slipped into a coma and was dreaming this, like, I don't know, under
it's like, why
heavy
haven't I thought of
medications.
bejeweling all of my cleaning products and tools.
Well, let's never mind.
You know,
I almost dove into this discussion about it, and
you were pressed for time, so
yeah. I was like thinking logistically, like all of the reasons why I don't want to rhinestone my plunger, and we just don't have the time. So Shea Coulee begins stalking everybody, and then she ultimately lands on Trinity to block. Why? Yeah, I don't know either. I don't. This was a weird choice to me. If you're trying to play the game, I feel like she was just trying to be nice, and she felt like for some reason Trinity wasn't going to win next week and wouldn't have to worry about it. Or she thought Trinity was really strong and really was legitimately trying to play the game, which, given how things went, the next episode was probably a good choice. But
you know, I could see that because I mean, prior to watching the first couple episodes, I thought Trinity was going to be a really strong competitor because she's like actively working so much and she's been really busy. Yeah. So, you know, as opposed to maybe some queens who maybe aren't quite as active.
Out of all of them, she does have the most challenge wins under her belt of all time. Mm-hmm. And I think she holds the record out of anybody, to be honest with you. She has 7 challenge wins across her Drag Race tenure competing. And nobody's been able to match that. So, it just seems weird. It just seemed weird because I didn't think Trinity was like on her radar at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know.
Who do you think she would have chosen if not for Trinity?
Jinx. I would have blocked Jinx.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Jinx seemed like a really logical choice to me. And I think, I don't know, maybe that's why I was so surprised. But no, good for her. She blocked Trinity. Trinity took it really well.
Yeah, she did, which was great. Because
yeah, she was like, oh, we're all playing the game.
Mm-hmm. It made it fun.
Yeah. So then getting into Snatch game of it all. Swoop. Oh, so just whacking my equipment. Anyway, getting into Snatch game. No mini challenge. They just dive right in. So they're just doing Snatch because we have 8 queens, and we're always gonna have 8 queens. We can do Snatch game anytime we want. We want to do it in the beginning. Let's just do it now.
So glad they did.
Me too. I was like, yay! But now we have to go the whole rest of the season. I'm like, and we're not getting any more Snatch game.
We can't look forward to Snatch game. Can we
exactly.
do it again?
It's like eating my ice cream first before dinner came out. But so they're told that the twist of the legendary Snatch game is that they will have to do Snatch game twice. So they do 2 rounds of Snatch game with 2 different characters. What? Thank you, RuPaul.
Right.
Yes. And so we had as characters for round 1, we had Jada as Prince,
Mm-hmm.
Jinx as Natasha Lyonne, Jesus. Monet Exchange as Mike Tyson, Raja as Madam, Shea Coulee as Elsa Majimbo, the Vivian as Joanna Lumley, Trinity the Tuck as Lucy Fur. Whoa, out of the box. And Evie Oddly as Rico Nasty. I will, between the 2 rounds, round 1 was my least favorite. And it's for some of these very specific choices that were made. Any standouts for you from round 1?
For round 1, Lucifer I thought was hilarious.
Yeah, I really was nervous about that. I was like,
I really think it was Trinity's commitment to it that just.
Well, she was just kind of herself.
Yeah.
For both, really, if you think about it. She's really just kind of herself. It's kind of funny.
And then I thought almost said Roger. Raja's madam was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought that was great.
And I think it was so good because she was so animated. And if she wasn't as animated, it would have fallen pretty flat.
Raj is not a comedian, so I really appreciate it when she commits. But I also feel like she gets nervous, so she really needs to like floor it and just hope for the best. And a lot of times it works out in her favor.
Yeah, I did think Madam worked out a little better than who she chose for round 2. Only because she was able to be so much more animated and floor it a little more.
100%.
And then Prince was really good, I thought. Not because
accidentally.
Not because Jada did a good Prince, only because it was so bad it was funny.
Yeah.
And while I thought Jinx did a really good Natasha Lyonne, I think maybe she was just so overshadowed by her next character. It just didn't really stand out for me. It was a good impersonation, but it wasn't hilarious.
Yeah, and I feel like Jinx had better people in her wheelhouse. Natasha Lyonne is someone that's hard to impersonate. Famously so. In fact, I was laughing we watched it because she just did a Vanity Fair video where she kind of like ranked all the people who tried to impersonate her. And then coincidentally, this premiered the weekend that she hosted SNL, where we got a lot of Natasha Lyonne and people kind of playing off of Natasha. And so I think it just kind of highlighted where the weak points in Jinx's impersonation of her were. It was really good, but I just don't think it was like up to the level of her little Edie from her first, from season 5, and then definitely her next one from round 2. Yeah, Trinity, oddly really funny. I did not know how I felt about that. Round 2, we had Jada as the Lady Chablis. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know. I'm not sophisticated. Jinx was Judy Garland. Monet was Martin Lawrence, but not really. She was Martin Lawrence as
a Martin Lawrence character.
As Nene, right? I think it's her name.
I think so, yeah.
I don't know. I'm a 90s baby. I'm so young. Raja as Deanna Vreeland, which was really nice, actually. Really good impersonation. Was it hilarious? I don't know, but she did really well. Shea Coulee as Miss J. The Vivian as Catherine Tate. Very UK specific. Trinity the Tuck as Leslie Jordan, who oddly just kind of sounds like Trinity the Tuck.
Shorter.
Yeah, I've never really thought about it, but they do kind of sound exactly the same. Evie Oddly as the Boogeyman, but spelled with an IE, because it was a sexy one. It was weird.
Because he likes the boogie.
Yeah, this was weird. But round 2 was definitely way better than round 1, just because it was a lot of interesting mashups of people, and everybody I felt did a little better in this one.
I feel like they're a little more comfortable. They interacted a lot more with each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Jinx's Judy. I could have watched an entire episode.
Oh, was she funny?
I mean, I hated it. I was just pandering, I guess. No, it was really good. I've listened to it several times. I played in my car. Yeah, I played in my car.
I've probably watched it 3 times since then, and I almost died when we were watching it in our watch party. It was,
and it makes me wonder, like, what didn't make the cut. Like, there had to have been jokes in there that didn't. Right. It's just, I could tell though that they were giving her like extra time, or at least I don't know if it was the edit, but it just seemed like she kind of hogged a lot of time from the other people and took a while to get her bits out, which worked in her favor. But I'm wondering if this was part of the production drama that we heard about in the background, which is weird because they seem to all like each other and the cast isn't very large. So when they say several queens almost walked out, I'm like, is that like 2 of them? I don't know what that means.
Right. But with something like Snatch Game though, like if it's if it's going really well, don't you just kind of go with the flow? Like, you don't
Yeah,
abruptly cut someone off when they're on a roll, because then
I
that's
agree.
not funny.
I agree.
And it kills the show.
I
I
agree.
did think I did like Evie's Boogeyman. I thought that was really clever and really funny and
It was
really
good
played.
for her.
Yeah, it was good for her. Played to her strengths. There was and of course Leslie Jordan was hilarious.
Yeah,
Trinity
it
as
was.
Leslie Jordan was hilarious.
It was so good. So, Rue's look. She wore
This is the matronly look.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, she looked a little more motherly.
I
A little
liked
more her
this
age.
look.
Yes, I did too. I was like, look at you, RuPaul, finally aging it up.
I wish we would get more
Okay.
Grandmama Rue.
Yeah, it's okay to be where you're at.
Yeah,
don't
you can
need
be the
you-
fairy godmother, not mama.
Yeah, I don't need you in a cat suit with 87 different camera angles to make it look like you're moving.
Right. Because
You
you know
know?
there's 87 binder clips on the back pulling all that tight. So
Yeah. So, just where this was sensible. It was honest.
it's like she
And-
took a page out of Michelle's book. Because Michelle
Yeah.
oftentimes embraces the gray and is just owning it and looks
And where she
fabulous.
is right now. Yes,
Mhm.
I think that's totally fine to do. She ain't got nothing to prove, So it's almost weirder when she's like, "I got a new song, Cameron." Wah, wah, wah. I'm like, okay. Anyways, I'm gonna show the children. I'm like, no,
On TikTok.
yeah, you're gonna show the children what a hospital gurney looks like. Okay, so Runway. Oh, wait, no, who was our guest judge? I already forgot. Forgot to point her out. Our guest
think of her name.
judge was Daphne Guinness, who's fashion icon, I guess. I had no idea who she was. I just said that like I did. I had no idea who she was.
I loved her outfit. It was so
Yeah.
sparkly.
She's really good.
Wish I could wear that in the garden.
So the category for this extra special episode was the pleather principle. So they had to walk out in faux leather. And first we had Monet, who wore that brown sculpted thing gown. That's the word I was looking for. And I really liked it. She had the big bow on the front. She had those abs.
She
She
looked
had
like
the
a
Batman abs.
she looked like a chocolate Oscar. Like she
Mhm.
she looked really cool. And the more I looked at it, the more I liked it. It was like
Yeah.
it was very, very statuesque. It was very pretty.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Then we had Evie Oddly, who came out with like the inflatable hair and an
Her anime
style.
look.
Yeah. I don't know if it's pleather, but I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was very Evie Oddly.
Yeah, it was good. Raj's look, I really enjoyed.
Yes. Oh, with that coat.
Yes,
Ooh,
I
girl.
loved it. It's just so good. Trinity's, she also had kind of, it almost looked
She had
inflated.
that like puffy.
It was like a marshmallow. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very different. It was a different kind of silhouette. Something like what did Ross say? Something you could wear on your cheat day.
Yeah. It's cute. I liked it. The Vivian had the shoulders moment.
Yes.
Yes.
What
That
would
was
have
so
slayed
good.
the shoulder challenge from season 14?
That's exactly what I thought. I was like, that's what I needed to
That's
see.
how you win that challenge.
Yeah.
But
Deja
she looked great.
vu.
She looked wonderful.
Mm-hmm. So good. And Jinx wore a Jinx
That-
dress, but
Yeah,
it was
the
really
Jinx
good.
dress.
Yeah, it was really good though. I can't remember what she called it. She said if somebody was Mary Poppins, if she was a dominatrix, I think is how she
Mhm.
put it. And I was like, do I need that movie?
Only for a select few.
Yeah, very select, and those people are very strange. Jada Essence Hall came out as the Matrix.
Yes,
She
came out as Jada.
Jada Pinkett. Yeah, Jada's Jada. Shea Coulee came out Wearing something. What is she?
Me waiting for you to just describe it so I can be like, oh yeah, that's what she wore.
That was a test. You failed. She came out as Catwoman with the graffiti on
Oh yeah, this was cute. This was cute.
Yeah,
I like
which
this.
is why I remembered it. And then we had who did we have? Oh, nobody. That was it. Okay.
They're all probably sweating their butts off on stage and all that pleather, though.
They have to in general. I don't know how they do it. There's so many lights, and
I can't even put on a wig for our watch party without sweating. Like after 20 minutes, I'm like, y'all, it's coming off.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Nope, not for me. Okie doke. So for Snatch Game, we find out that Jinx, Trinity, Monet, and Raja all placed high. And Jinx and Trinity are the top two winning the challenge. Do you agree?
Yes.
I agree too. I thought that was a solid choice. Very clear choice.
Jinx was a narrow win, though.
Yes. Yeah, she barely.
She just inched across.
She got lucky, really. She looked like she had no idea. And side note, I do love that they get to change this season on their runway, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's something they like asked for or demanded. Like, can we not come out in this big old runway look?
Right.
Although when Jinx came out to lip sync, she did look an awful lot like Adele, who happened to be who they were lip syncing to.
I'm wondering if
and Trinity looked nothing like.
No, and Trinity had a rough time. Her wig was coming off, which I had to watch a few times because somebody pointed out on Twitter, and I was like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh, wow!" Like it came off, and then they edited it out because they get the winner's edit. Because I thought it looked a little, Whitney Houston askew by the time she was done, but yeah, that thing came off. But I'm glad they edited it out. She didn't mean to. She was just trying to win her some money.
Yeah, just trying to have fun.
Yeah. But they both won the challenge, even though they had to lip sync. I will say Trinity was blocked either way, so she didn't get a star. Jinx got a star. And then Jinx also she won the lip sync. No. She won the lip sync and got $10,000 and the power to block. Do you agree?
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
She looked the part. She did great.
Yeah.
She did a performance. I mean, it was wonderful.
She was on the stage. She moved around.
She was on the, she showed up.
Yeah.
She was on time.
Oh gosh.
You know what though? I will say, I do have a lot of respect for competitors who like Trinity was blocked this week, right? And she still landed in the top. And granted, I know all of the queens in All Stars this season are all winners. They've already done this before, but I really think it speaks to her character that she still gave it 110%, even though knowing that she was blocked.
I definitely agree. So Jinx gets to decide with the platinum plunger who she wants to block, and she decides to block Shay, which is a solid choice, I think.
And she did say she was going to block someone who had a badge already.
Yeah.
Which had Monet shaking in her boots.
I love that about Jake. She was like, I'm having such a good time. I will be playing this game.
Monet almost got up and walked away when she said
Monet was like, oh.
What?
Okay. Because Monet doesn't take it well when she gets eliminated or blocked or something happens to her. Her name's chosen. She really doesn't take it well. And she's said that several times, and which makes All Stars 4 so sad either way because Manila was gonna go home either way that week. You know, when you think about it, it's so terrible. It bothers me.
But Jinx even explained it though. She's just like, this is just a logical way to play the game. It's not personal. It's just, if I was playing logically like a game, as this is, I would obviously block the person who's in the lead who has badges.
Absolutely.
And I feel like Monet still didn't understand or still took it kind of personal. And it was like, girl, you're in a competition. Like, that's how you would play, no? Like,
I agree. Okay. It's time for top tweets. All right, getting into the scoreboard. So everyone's still here. We're not doing all that because nobody's going home. So, and this is the one season where the stats truly are the only thing that matter. I'm so excited.
You're in your element.
I was born for this. Who's laughing now? We're gonna get so many subscribers, we're gonna explode. Not a lot of differentiation. We're just getting started, really. So for the most part, the stats are the same. So Jinx, Monet, Shay, and Trinity all have 1 challenge win. Everybody else has Zippo. For legendary legend stars, Jinx, Monet, and Shay all have 1, which means Jinx, Monet, and Shay are all tied for first place. Trinity in second place, having 1 challenge win, but no stars. Raja in third place, along with Evie, oddly, because they both placed high in their challenges. Jada and Vivian both placing completely safe middle ground both episodes, tying for 4th right now. For the most part, it's really just the stars that matter because that's what's getting counted at the end. But just to break up how they're kind of performing overall, I'm including those challenge wins. And that's how things shake out right now until we start getting some other challenges and more people blockings and doing things and plungering and all of that. Anyways, there you have it. So if you would like to check out any of our past coverage of Drag Race or Dragula, you can find that on the PG Media channel right here. And if you'd like to check out our ongoing coverage of All Stars 7, you can definitely stick around and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. You can also follow PG Media on social media, and you can find that information below. Sometimes I post there, sometimes I don't. And with that being said, as always,
thank you for watching highlights,
and we'll see you next time.